My lords, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to episode number 6 of the Transport Fever 2 Deluxe DLC series. Today we're starting here at the station for New Haven, probably and arguably the busiest station that we have so far on the map due to the amount of traffic that calls in here or passes on through en route to their final destination, wherever that may be. And what we're going to do today is, despite starting here in New Haven and having a look at the comings and goings of our traffic here at the station, we're going to head back over to Knoxville, because I'd like to make a start activating the machinery factory that we have nearby, just on the outskirts of Knoxville. We've got a few cities nearby that require the machines that they are producing, so it would make good sense to get that up and running as soon as we can, and then hopefully get those machines on their way out to where they're needed as soon as we can as well. Before we do get started, I just want to make mention of one more thing. A lot of you will be aware that in the start of this series and the conclusion of the previous one, I ran a little giveaway for somebody to win some people to win a free copy of the Deluxe DLC. One of the lucky winners was very, very generous, and they let me know that they've already gone ahead and purchased it themselves anyway. So that means we have one copy, just one, of the Deluxe DLC that is up for grabs, and if anybody would like to be in with a chance to win said copy, then please let me know in the comments down below. What we'll do, we'll announce the winner on episode number 8, that way everybody's clear as to when they have to get their submissions in by, and the winner will be announced in episode 8, and we'll take it from there. The other thing I wanted to mention before we got started was I've compiled a workshop mod list for this series, so if anyone would like to try and replicate the series or do something similar themselves, you can access the mod list in the description of the video down below. It will take you to a link on the Steam Workshop that has a compilation of all the currently active mods that are running in this series. What I'll do is, as time progresses, if more mods are added into the mix, I'll update the compilation list to reflect any future changes as well. So let's get started, shall we? Let's bring up the user interface. Obviously, money, we don't really have to fuss about it too much. We are on easy mode, so that shouldn't be a concern. And the date, well, we're almost into 1880 at this point, and I think we're doing pretty well. So as I said, we're going to be heading over to Knoxville, so let's jump on over there now. And we can see the machinery factory here, just on the outskirts of Knoxville. Now, to produce the machines, we need to supply this factory with both steel and with planks, and the first thing we're going to bring in are the planks. Now, just down here, nestled against a mesa, we do have a sawmill where we can pick up the planks that we require and take them onwards. And of course, to get that up and running, that production there, we will need some logs. And given that we already have a station over here where we have some logs being brought in already, and we have several other logging camps nearby to feed into this station if we need to, it makes sense to me to run from this station right here. So what we'll do, we'll work backwards, so we'll start from the logs to the sawmill. So given that we already have a platform or a spare platform open to us if we want it, we're going to go from that platform there, and we're going to have it a little bit elongated because we're getting to the point where our trains are going to be pretty long, and in fact no, we can't do that because this track curves here and it blocks future construction. So what we'll do is, as that train heads into the station, we'll delete the tracks behind it as it goes, extend the track. Oh, don't want to delete that. We'll extend our platform here. And then extend the tracks here as well. And then we need to reconnect it to where it just was, although that isn't the best connection there. So what I'm going to do is take it back even further so we can get in a little bit straighter and a bit nicer like that. There we go, that's given us maximum speed on that little curve into the station, which is always ideal. And 70 miles an hour that way isn't bad at all either. Let's put ourselves a signal here. And we already have a signal down there, so that's all sorted. It says there's still a problem, but I think we just need to do a stop-go on this train and it will figure itself out. There it is, look. Flip direction and heading outwards. So now what we want to do, we want to take a track from this new track platform we've just built and head this way. And look at that, just in the distance there we can see one of the stone trains heading over towards Chandler. But let's not get distracted. What we want to do is come out down here. Now we want to make this as fast as possible. So 75 miles per hour is ideal. And let's keep it straight as well. By straight, of course, I do mean level. Just for completion's sake, what we're going to do as well is just put a line over here to join these two together so there is full accessibility between both platforms like that. Okay. So now what we're going to do is just head down here. Probably dart through here with a tunnel over here around the corner by Memphis, and again maybe dart through here with a tunnel and maybe have our station here if we have enough space. We're a bit limited because of the horseshoe style here of the Mesa, but that's the rough plan. It's subject to change, of course. So let's just at least get as far as the industry, shall we? And again, make sure we can get as high speed as possible throughout all of this. There's no sense artificially limiting the speeds. And do we want a tunnel there or a cutting? I think I'm going to say we'll have a cutting at this point. So I think this is the bit here what we want to be aiming for, if I remember correctly. Yes, it is. So what we'll do is, well, we'll aim for that bit. Let's go to about there. And again, we've got good speeds throughout so far, which is perfect. We can have a nice little straight stretch of track here. And hopefully we can get a good speed as we cut through here. And I don't mind the tunnel here. Obviously we are not going to put a cutting there. That would be absolutely ridiculous if we were to do that. Maybe straighten up just a little bit here actually. Maybe like that. Just because where we were coming out, we were heading more that way, whereas we want to be heading up this way. Let's keep this as straight as we can. We're going to have to deflect it a little bit, as we can see. 6.8 degree deflection, which is not too bad at all. Now, where's the second bit we wanted to aim for? Okay, so this bit here, this bit might be a bit tight. No, 75 miles per hour, which is great. We don't want to get too close in towards Memphis, because at some point we're going to have stations and lines down here, and basically we don't want to block ourselves in or do ourselves out of any future territory that we may need. Okay, so I was originally planning to come in this way, but given the where we are, we're going to have to do it along the top, which is not a problem. Makes no difference really. So let's build our station at this industry. How many tracks? I'll say we will go for 2. In fact, we'll go for 1 because I don't want the second platform yet. But I will go for. Do you want to go for 320 straight away at this point? Or do we want something a little bit smaller? Now let's go for 320. And let's pop you just there. Where is our... Oh, that's going to be very tight. However, we are coming into a station at that point, so it's not the end of the world, and even that speed's not too bad. 44 miles per hour. It is livable. So we can connect that in there. What we're going to do here at this station is add a second track, because I want to have our trains, when they're returning back from dropping off the planks, to be able to pass through here without having to wait for anything that may be unloading at the sawmill. We need a street connection here, so what we'll do is we'll actually just rework this road just here that runs past the station and just route it in such a way that it will actually give us a connection like that. Wonderful. And then we just want a nice easy connection there, so it actually links up to the industry as well. And this will be the Memphis sawmill. It's not a logging camp, it is a sawmill. Memphis sawmill. Okay, so that's that done. Let's now head outwards, and what I'll do here is again perhaps just rework this road here. Maybe as far as that, and look to have this road a little bit straighter. Obviously that is an issue we touched upon in our previous episode, where we did rework and relay some of the roads just to give them a straighter approach like that, and that has the added benefit of replicating those cross-country highways in interstates and freeways and the likes that we have in the United States, which tend to be quite straight. And it also means that it's not encroaching on our land where we want to build our tracks, so it's a double win there. So now we can head out. And which way do we want to be headed now? Okay, so we'll keep it straight for a little while, maybe around about 200 meters, before slowly starting to curve off towards the right. Because what I want to do, I should say, is curve this way, straighten up, and then curve back this way. So I'd like this track to run down here between the mesa and the coal mine, connect into the passenger line, and then deflect off away from the passenger line into the station at the machinery factory. So let's see if we can do that nicely. So again, let's keep this nice and straight with no deflection. There we go. And then what we need to do is come off towards the left here. Okay, that's a tunnel there, which I wasn't anticipating, but I don't have too much of a problem with it, so we'll go with it. And keeping top speed there, yeah. Brilliant. We might lose a bit here. No, it's going to be a... What's the maximum we can get before you do lose speed? It looks like it's around 24 degrees, yeah. So aim for anything below 24 degrees then, and you're not going to lose speed. Obviously, if we were to double track this, we'd have to double track the outer edge, because if we didn't, we'd lose speed, because this would be somewhat tighter than this one here. But we'll worry about that a little bit later. So now we'll go straight on, and a little bit further here. And now we want to come out and meet in with this passenger line here. Now this is going to be a little bit slow, but again, I think it drops to the lowest there is 46. So 46 is not the end of the world. So it's a little bit slow as it takes this junction and heads this way, but the speed does soon increase, as we can see 50, 63, and then down to 75 for the rest of the journey. Apart from when they get to the station, of course. So we'll do that. Brilliant. Now we want to build a station here at the machinery factory. Let's just get rid of that road there and we'll put our own road in for this. So here we're just going to put a terminus station. And here we need, let's just have a look at this. For now, I think we can do with one platform, because the steel can be brought in by trucks. Obviously the planks are coming in by train, and initially we'll only just start serving Knoxville with the machinery, so that can be done by trucks as well. So yeah, for now, one platform, obviously subject to change. And I wonder if we connect it, or if we push it up against this road here, if we can. It's probably a bit too zoomed in there. Let's get a good angle on this. If we put it there, so it has a connection to that road, and then we provided a connection from that road to the industry, keep you straight, would that be enough to connect between the industry and the station, do we think? Yes, it would. Perfect. That works quite nicely. Okay then, so now what we have to do, back to the track laying tool, and head out and just get in somewhere on this passenger line. And we go a little bit further before we start to drop speed. If we go to 23, that should be fine. And can we get in? And can we get in nicely is the main thing here. So the, in fact, let's hop over to the other track. The overlap is good. The speed is not bad at all. 49 or 50 miles per hour is the slowest we go, which is fine. So we'll go for that. We'll accept that. We're going to have to remove that signal there, because we are going to double track just a little bit of this here. So let's remove that signal, or replace that signal we just removed, by putting one there, and we'll put one there for that. Let's give a signal here with a view to clearing this junction if anything is heading in towards the steel mill. It's not going to hold up the passengers too long. And just as we straighten out a little bit here, I think this is where we shall put in the merge, like this. Wonderful. So then we definitely want another signal just there. They're a bit too close, so I think we'll have to get rid of that one. That's all fine. What we can do without causing deadlock is have a one-way signal just here, which allows our trains to creep from the platform onto the tracks if they're waiting for this little bit to clear. What we can also do here is two-way signal this bit. So again, the passenger train can wait here if this block is occupied, and the cargo train can do likewise if this block is occupied. But once again, they won't cause deadlock. And then what we have to do is on that line we've just constructed from the sawmill, and obviously as far as the lumber yards, we're going to have to put some stretchers of double track in for passing purposes. So let's do that. So we'll put a passing loop here. That was a bit slow there, 70, but we'll accept it. That's even slower, but we're on a corner, so it's always a bit difficult to get high speeds on the corners. Where else can we put a passing loop? We might be able to fit it might be a bit too short actually. What length would this be ish? 274 meters. In the future that could cause problems, so we'll not put one there. What we'll do instead is we might run this passing loop as far as the entrance to the tunnel, just here. Like that instead. And then what we can do on this passing loop is we can have some midway blocks as well. So we'll put one at either end, signal of course, and around about the halfway point, which is roughly there, yeah, we'll put a midpoint block as well. Change that to a one-way signal, so this will have to be single tracked here. Could we get another passing loop in just after this tunnel, before the station? In fact, what we could do, because we have the station as dual track, we could just do that. And then, because on their way back they're not stopping here, we're going to have to cross them over here, aren't we? We're not left-hand drive at all, are we? So we're going to have to cross them over. Maybe cross them over a little bit faster than that. There we go, 75. So we'll put a signal just before the crossover there. We'll put a signal just before the tunnel where they merge back together, just there. Midpoint block, probably not, but if the traffic is holding up too much, then we shall do that. So what we also need then is a way to get back over, so we'll just make that into a diamond. Like that. That way, after they've come in, dropped off the logs and picked up the planks, they can then get back onto the correct side of the tracks and depart. And then here what we want to do is, well, we'll go just past the level crossing first of all. So our trains will be coming in this way. Let's bring this together. In fact, yeah, let's move out of the way. Yeah, let's bring that in. In fact, let's go as far as the tunnel there. As you leave the tunnel, that's where we'll separate into two tracks like this. So our trains then, when they're heading back, will come down this way, cross over, come down here. So this bit is all backwards. So if we give them a way to get back over down here, like that, and then just make sure we have a one-way signal there. So then we need, this is going to be a little slow on this bit here, but that's okay because they're about to come to a halt at the station anyway. If we do that, then our trains that are heading this way can get to this platform and stop and unload and pick up the planks, and our trains heading back to the Joseph Walker Joseph Walker Station can get back onto the right hand side of the tracks here and head down this way. So we'll have to put a short signal there, which could cause problems on this junction, but we'll have to deal with that. But to limit the potential impact, we'll have an immediate double track on the other side of this tunnel as well. That way the trains don't have to wait too long. So yeah, the stretch between these two tunnels can also be double tracked. There we go. So again, let's just set the signals up for this little stretch. So one way and one way. Could we get away with a midpoint? For now, yes, but it might cause trouble later, so we'll put one in, and if we have to remove it later, then so be it. I think this bit will keep a single track just to mix it up a little bit, and then we'll have a double track on this stretch. So let's get that nice and rapid. 75. Lovely. And we'll go, in fact, let's go across both roads before we come back together. So we'll have an extended passing loop for this bit. And then where we have this cutting here, that's where we'll come back as one. Perfect. Now the signals. So signal there. Signal all the way over here. And then, yeah, we'll put a midpoint in. We can comfortably squeeze one in on this double stretch of track. Great. And then, do we want perhaps another bit of double track here to serve as a waiting area for our trains. If one's been loaded, one can wait a little bit closer to the station. I think that's not a bad idea at all. So let's get one here. And again, it's a bit slow this time, but like before, they are about to come to a stop at the station anyway, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. And we'll do it just over the level crossing and then bring it back in. Again, a little bit slow there, but I think we can live with that. And then we'll put a one-way signal. In fact, if they block the road, then so be it. One-way signal there and there. And then, like I said, our train can wait here if there's a counterpart already on platform being loaded. Okay, so that should be ready to go then. Just double check everything's correct. We have a connection there. And we have a connection there, so we can set up the line. So new line, colour, we'll use the brown. So we are going to go from Joseph Walker Station, platform number 2. You want a full load here at all times. And just for the heck of it, we will stipulate what they're loading. And they're going to come out this way, through here, up here, around here. They're going to stop here on platform 1. Here we want load if available, and a maximum stop time. In fact, no, full load all, but give them a maximum stop time of say 2 minutes, because we know they can't get a full load due to the conversion ratio. But 2 minutes should be enough time to get at least a half load, which is what we're going to be aiming for here. So we'll do that. Perfect. So Memphis Sawmill, platform 1. And then head out and head up to Upper Knoxville, which we need to rename. So we'll do that now. Knoxville Machinery. And here they're not loading anything, they're just going to unload the planks before heading back down this way. Back down here, they've taken that bypass track there, so they're going a little bit backwards here, but that's fine. So this stretch of track isn't needed then with the looks of it, but that's fine. We can keep it in. Yeah, and then they're going to come all the way back round and back to Joseph Walker. And that will work perfectly. So RC, this is logs, planks, and this is Joseph Walker Station to Knoxville. I have changed any lines that colour a train station. We now have 4-letter denominators for the town names. So we've got, well, Joseph Walker Station, Knoxville, NHVN New Haven, CHDL Chandler, BLVU Bellevue, and HYWD for Haywood. So that's where we've gone to this. Where's it gone? There it is, yeah. JWST to KNXV, Joseph Walker Station to Knoxville. Wonderful. So that's that taken care of. So we can buy ourselves a loco, can't we? And I think, can we use either depot? Can we? No, because there's no way to get from this passengers track here to the cargo line. So let's use this depot down here then at Bellevue. Buy vehicles. Do we want to double head with a 280 Baldwin class 56? Probably, only because our cargo wagons are speed limited to 31. So we'll go for the 280 Baldwin class 56, the consolidation, and we will double head it. And then cargo, luckily both stops will be using the flat car with side stakes, logs and planks, so we don't need a mixed consist for this one. And let's see what we can do with this. Let's get a nice long train for this one. If we can get to, maybe even push it to 250 if we can. 246. That's not bad at all. Bearing in mind we want to put a caboose on here as well. That should push it to around about 250. And I think we can get away with 2 of those trains at 12.7 million. Wonderful. And you are going on the Joseph Walker Station to Knoxville line. You're unable to find a path to the stop. Well, you shouldn't be unable because you can get... they're both stopping. I don't think that's causing the problem. Let's just sort that out, shall we? You want to be on Terminal 2. And you're on Terminal 1. That's better. Is that... no, that's backwards. Oh, that's because that's number 1. Okay. Right, switch it back over, lads. So you are number 2. You are number 1. That's what we wanted. Okay, so going back, why could that train not find a path to the stop? Let's go down here. Now you can come out here. You can come up here. You can get up here. No you can't, because that's a one-way signal. Yeah, well, we can change that to a 2-way. It's not going to affect anything. Change that to a 2-way. That's a 1-way, that's fine. Let's try that again. Can they now find a path to their destination? Let's just head up here so we can see the line visible on our screen. There we go. Just those couple of errant signals. Well, they weren't errant. They were doing exactly what they should be doing, but I forgot to factor them in when it came to line access purposes. So that's that done. And I think what we'll do, we've probably got time to do a quick line getting some coal into the steel mill, because we'll just do that via some trucks. So that's not going to take long. And that'll be a good place to end it once we've got that done. Because then all we have to do is get some iron in, which... either here or here. We will have to do by rail. I'll think about that one. And then all we have to do after that point is get the steel to the machinery factory, which we'll do by truck. And then the machinery factory will be up and running and producing for us. But for now, let's get this coal being brought in, shall we? So let's come out of that way. And again, let's keep these roads nice and straight to reflect the state of the roads, or the design of the roads out in the west. And what are you doing there? Why are you not? Why can't? Oh, is it because there's yeah, there's a switch there. That's causing the issue there. I don't think there's anywhere you could get over. No, you could get over there. And if we make sure you're staying level, you're not going to bump up the track or anything. So yeah, let's go that way. So we'll have to curve it a bit here. Let's just take that back just a touch. Come down straight to about there. Curve there. And straight there. Okay, great. And here you can just run straight over to there. Everybody's happy with that. So we need to drop off. No, we need to pick up here, don't we? We're picking up coal at this point. So let's get a truck station with one platform, 30 meters. We'll put it on the right hand side of the road so they turn in nicely. There we go. Let's just quickly configure it to give it a exit point as well. In fact, let's do it properly. Let's get rid of both them and have station entrance and station exit. That way they have to pass through without the use of waypoints. Let's then connect it in. Straight there, curved in there. And this one could just go straight into a curve there. This will be Knoxville Colliery. So you're going to come in, pick up, leave, head down here, cross the line, down here, down here, down here. And here we just need you to drop off. So buildings, unload point right outside the main entrance. Back to our streets. And whoa, that's going the wrong way. What I wanted to do is give them a loop like that, so they don't U-turn on the roads. And this we probably will need to use a waypoint to get them going the right direction, so we'll do that. We have a depot not too far away, so I think we'll just use that one to save a bit of money. Not that we need to save money, but let's get this line set up. So Knoxville Colliery, fully loaded, as long as that requires, which shouldn't be too long to be honest. Loading coal, heading to the drop-off point. You've already taken the loop, but we'll specify it anyway, so you don't change your mind later on. And your coal, so let's give you that dark grey colour just there. And this is T for trucks, coal, Knoxville. Okay, that looks ready to go, so now we can purchase some trucks, and we'll just use this one. Yeah, they have a bit of a trek to get down here, but it's not the end of the world. And cargo, can you use this one? Yes, you can. Should we overload it a bit? Should we go straight for 50? We can afford to get 50, so why not? We will colour those. And you can't see the line from there, sorry about that. There we go, coal to Knoxville. So we should start seeing coal production here, which we have. We should see... Now, you're not... Why are you... Are you the second train or are you the first train? I hope you're the second one. Why do we not have production? You have a connection. You have a connection. Where's the second train? Because that second train is liable to be blocking everything in at this point. Why is this fella not being loaded? Train 19, where are you? Okay, let's just take a minute to check this. Let's just check the line instructions. Joseph Walker Station, load logs, yes, fine. Memphis Sawmill, unload logs, yes. Load planks, yes. Knoxville, you have no restrictions, so I see no reason why you shouldn't be loading that train with some logs at this point. What we're using that one, aren't we? Consumers. Alright, it says you've got 14. It might just take a little while for it to kick in then. And of course, we've got to bring them down via the horse and cart as well, so that could be adding to the delay. But what we don't want is this train to be stuck, blocking everything else in, so we'll kill two birds with one stone. We'll set this train on the way empty. That means next time if they're still not loading properly, they're going to wait over here and not affect any other lines. And it also means we can have a nice cab ride, and we'll go as far as the machinery factory, I think. I'll obviously have to do some fiddling and finagling, or maybe just increase the video speed at the Memphis Sawmill, because they're going to be waiting for a load that's never going to arrive because they've not brought them any raw materials for which to produce the planks. But anyway, we can deal with that when we get there. I hope you've enjoyed this episode and you are continuing to enjoy this series. As I said, there is still another copy of the Deluxe DLC up for grabs. Leave a comment down below if you'd like to be put into consideration for that. It's just going to be names out of a hat randomly, and it will just be one person this time. The Discord server is now up and running properly, so feel free to check that out. Head on over there and get involved with the community, and that's where we have our discussions. And as I said, I will start doing early video releases, maybe just 6 to 12, or maybe a day, 6 to 12 hours or a day, so 24 hours in advance of them being released publicly on YouTube as well. and that will also become an added perk for those on Patreon, and they'll get even earlier video access for those of you who pledge on Patreon. As always though, your comments, feedback and suggestions are more than welcome in the comments down below or over on Discord, whichever you want to make use of. Discord is probably easier for a back and forth dialogue, especially because I get a notification on my phone anywhere I am, so I can pick them up pretty quickly, even when mobile or at work, for instance. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, all that remains for me to say is, as always, take very good care of yourselves. It's ta-ta for now.